Hello everyone, happy Mother's Day. Hope you had a great weekend. And last week wasn't a very good week for the market, but it kind of rebounded on Friday. So Yellen was basically saying that hey, there's a risk of maybe have to rise interest rate earlier than expected, but then should back out later. So just give you a quick recap, and then we're give you some insights of coming week or what to predict for the month of May. US stock were mixed on Monday with the S&P 500 and Dow Jones Industrial Average rising as Nasdaq 100 fell. The mixed trading came amid comments from the Fed's John Williams, who says accelerating economic growth is not yet enough to impact the Fed's easy monetary policy. Buffett and Morgan cautioned investors against speculative investing, said that trimming the position Apple and Costco was a mistake, and opponent Robinhood SPAC and cryptocurrency fell in the meeting. Munger's criticism of cryptocurrency didn't stop investors from beating up Ethereum and Bitcoin over the weekend. Ethereum surged to record highs about 3,000 level. Fidelity cut its implied valuation of Ant Group in half to $144 billion, according to regulatory filings. U.S. stock dropped Tuesday as investors grew wary over the reopening trade that has continued to support the market's upward move. Shares of reporting Delta Airline, American Airlines, Royal Caribbean, and North Korean cruise line were all down at least 1% early Monday morning trading. Price of quarterly earnings revenue beat Wall Street expectation. U.S. stock rose slightly on Wednesday after Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said she doesn't expect inflation to be a problem. Underplaying PV's comment that it was necessary to raise interest rates to prevent economic overheating. Her initial comments, however, on Tuesday promised sell-off in test shares and sent longer-dated Treasury yields higher. That tells you how influential these people are, right? And whatever they say can really have tremendous impact of the market and investing. Investors in Europe initially took the cue from their witnesses across the U.S. market, but those losses reversed with another busy day to corporate earnings and a burst high in the commodity complex. Asian shares were beat up in China, Hong Kong, Japan, and South Korea the week. Peloton Interactive plunged as much as 10% on Wednesday after announcing it would voluntarily recall two versions of its treadmills. The stock has really badly beat up if you look at Peloton right now. So, but I wouldn't suggest that's the opportunity to buy though. The decision comes in cooperation with U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission following report of injury and one death. The share price was below $90 since September last year. Related cryptocurrency, Ethereum price has surged over $33.50. The 27-year-old co-creator of Ethereum, Victor Baratrin, if I say the name wrong, sorry about it, is now the world's youngest crypto billionaire after a 350% year-to-date surge in the price of its cryptocurrency. GM report first quarter earnings of $2.25 per share, well above estimate $1.04, and shares of ATVI also jumped due to better than expected earnings. Silicos continue to advance despite surprise decline in U.S. activity and weaker labor market data. ISM manufacturing data for April fell a reading of 62.7, missing expectation of 64.3. On the labor market front, private payroll grew by 742,000 for April, according to the report released Wednesday by ADP, and missed the estimate of 800,000. A major U.S. indexes launched crypto indexes tracking Bitcoin and Ethereum's performance. The launch of 3 crypto indexes is another major step towards mainstream adoption of digital currency, as S&P Dow Jones Industrial Intensity Index the top 550 cryptocurrency. The stock market rally traded with slim to modest gain for most of Wednesday before turning mixed in the final hour. The Nasdaq retreat closing the session slow, though still above 50-day line. Chip names launched after higher, some sharp losses. U.S. stock futures rebound after a subdued trade close on Wednesday after President Biden expressed support for intellectual property waiver for COVID-19 vaccine. On Thursday, the initial jobless claim was the lowest, below 500,000, and better than analyst expectations. This positive news pushed the market up early in the morning, but slipped during intraday, but rebound before end of the day. Gains Molson Coors, Simple TAP, Kroger, General Mills also pushed consumer staples higher. TAP meanwhile closed high in choppy trade, though sentiment remains skittish somewhat amid fears rising inflation forced the Federal Reserve to tighten monetary policy sooner than expected. The Federal Reserve warned in its halfly yearly financial statement will publish on Thursday in the first clear acknowledgement of what in many side effects of its massive monetary stimulus over last year. China's stock market ended the week heading in the other direction, after Bloomberg report suggesting Beijing is looking at further restructuring companies that lease overseas. Square report Q1 Bitcoin revenue grew 1,000% to $2.5 billion. Overall revenue was $5.06 billion, handily beating analysts' expectation of $3.37 billion. A report says Citi is planning to launch its own crypto trading service, and Goldman is also launching a cryptocurrency trading desk. Beyond Meat slipped 5% after report widened and expect loss of 42 cents per share as the revenue fell on a pandemic-led dent in retail and restaurant demand. Roku delivered an outlook on the year ahead after reporting earnings. Peloton rebounded a little as first quarter that topped analyst estimates. Small cap EV and international stock unfortunately was still under pressure this week. Bitcoin drove to another high level. Oil price jumped to 64.50. Gold price has surged to 1,831.53. Fears remain that many people are diving into stock because rates are low and will continue to be so, even as the economy recover. Some inflation worry is true, however. Oil price collapsed a year ago, falling to as low as negative 37.63 cents because of panic that COVID-19 has set off. West Texas in the median was about $64 a barrel on Friday, placing its high bit higher than it was before the pandemic. The dollar was weak in April, especially against the Japanese yen. But severe shortage of computer chips used in everywhere from mainframe to cell phone, microwaves, and automobile are disrupting business. In many parts of the United States, COVID infection and hospitalizations have declined, but not everywhere. Continued surge of cases in India creates some concerns about global recovery. The United States doesn't have a great relation with China, in part because China wants to be the dominant player in the Western Pacific region. The geopolitical risk has yet to be materialized, but yet will be continued to watch for. May typically is not a great month for stock market, just to let you know. Singpeng will be announced earnings this coming week, May 13th. It's expected the revenue will exceed expectation. Hopefully this stock performance will drive some momentum, because right now the stock was as low as $27. Boeing, Disney, Salesforce, 3M may be a good pick at Dow Jones Industrial Average in my opinion. Fastly has dropped to another record low, but if you look at the stock in a technical perspective, the stock is always rebounding, so something you may be looking at to consider buying. Investor may have to look for opportunity, a dip to buy at the right time for the month of May. And obviously, we're not done with the earnings reporting yet. So we'll see if this week will, some of them rebounding. The futures at the moment is positive. So we will see. But then the third week of May is so unpopular. People will always sell in May, run away. So they may take some profit taking, just bear in mind. But if that's the case, it's really good time to cash or buy some more and enjoy the second quarter earnings, which we're going to announcing later on June and July. June will be the stage where we're setting that up and will be higher. But after that, I think you have to watch for in the previous month to talk about the potential interest rate rise, the increase of the corporate tax, the increase of the personal income tax, the increase of the possible taxation on capital gains. All this stuff, remember, will drive and also increasing the yield curve, which will driving the Nasdaq harder to be, for those business spending cash. So these things you probably to watch if a long-term perspective up to March will be the time really look into if that's how that shape up. And then we open at the same time after Memorial Day, which end of May, will probably drive some retail stock to be higher. I do see a lot of people actually on the street, a lot of cars out there now. I mean, weekend if you go to the mall, it's much more busy. You go to a restaurant, there's some people start dying, and you haven't get to the point you have to wait for table yet, but still it is a lot heavier than before. I mean, so to go, to order to go, you may have to wait for a line. So these are all the good signs. Talk about the retail stock, and the entertainment and leisure will be continue to be ahead of the curve. Once vaccination is happening, with majority of the U.S. So more to watch for. But again, in May, I will probably be more patient and watch for opportunity to sell. If it go up for the stock, you make profit possibly. Again, the rule is be 15% plus, and then if you drop further with the dip, you have some cash or buy more. And then for cryptocurrency, I really will closely watching for for what to buy, but definitely right now with the momentum they're pushing up in the record high, I wouldn't necessarily touch them yet. Have a nice and wonderful week. And again, hope you had a great and wonderful Mother's Day, and people, and you got to enjoy and spend some time with your lovely family. Thank you.